So it is official. Monday Night Raw will be taking place. No hurricane, no storm will be taking down the WWE tonight. No, we will get our Raw, but the bigger question is what's going to happen? Who's going to show up? Will the Divas finally be used properly? Certainly seems like that's a very good possibility. Let's break that down and so much more right here on your Monday Night Raw preview with Dead on Dave. Let's go.
Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels, your favorite
Everyone, it's Native American Tonka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, Dead on Dave. We got a lot to talk to. We got a lot to get to. I'm very excited because it is Monday Night Raw. It should be a good Raw. I'm really hoping for it. Building off of everything that happened from SummerSlam going in to Night of Champions. We got 3 or 4 Raws until then, so a lot that they can do. So hope springs eternal, I guess, is the way I'm going into every Raw nowadays. Just like every time, it's like, oh, we have all the pieces in place. Everything that we bitch about, everything that we complain about, everything that we talk about, everything we clamor for, the pieces are there. Now it's all for management, for WWE to put it all together and make it work properly. Breaking it down is your lovable fat man right here, Dead on Dave. So we're going to get into that, but make sure directly after Monday Night Raw tonight, you go right to Joe Cronin Show, where I will be co-hosting with the man himself, Joe Cronin. We will be doing our Monday Night Raw breakdown review show right at there. And then after, come back here because I'll be doing my review, the Dead on Dave review, taking your calls, answering your questions, and hopefully not wanting to kill myself from a bad Raw. But all that's later on. Let's get into now. It's preview time. So what are we looking for from tonight's Raw? That's the biggest question. I'm going to start with the biggest thing for me. We talk about Sting and all of that, and that's great, and we will. But for me, the misuse of the Divas lately, the autopilotness of the Divas Revolution. It's like they gave it a cutesy name. They brought up some of the girls that we wanted to see, and then they just said, same old shit. Hopefully, that will be changing with the announcement that tonight on Raw, for the first time ever, we will get a Divas Beat the Clock challenge, which all sounds well and good until it's only pertaining to PCB. Yes, Paige, Becky, and Charlotte are the only ones getting the opportunity to see who is going to be taking on Nikki Bella at Night of Champions, which is great. I mean, that's really cool, and I assume it has something to do with the fact that they won the SummerSlam match, and that's all well and fair. But obviously, once again, there's somebody else that's being left out, and that's Sasha. And her and Team Bad have made a video stating, you think that we're just going to sit back? So WWE is teasing that there's going to be interference tonight from Team Bad, which look, just put Sasha in the event. Just give her a chance to win this thing, and then we don't have to get all the team shit. We're tired of the team stuff. We don't care about Team Bad. We care about Sasha. We happen to care about Team PCB because all 3 of them women are awesome. We don't really care about the Bellas at all, other than when are we going to get the belt taken off of Nikki? That's the only question we care about with that. So there's all these things. Let's get it going properly, and God forbid do we have to listen to the Bellas on every single commentary. I'm sure we're going to. Another good question is, who are PCB going to be taking on to get in? What are their qualifying matches? Who are they going to be taking on? This is a good opportunity. Is it just going to be Alicia, Brie? This is a good opportunity to get some of the other divas involved. Maybe have Summer Rae in a match. She hasn't had a match in a while. Maybe even a Natalya. Natalya, we haven't seen her in forever, but these are really... There's good and bad with that. It'd be good to see them wrestle some of these newer chicks that we haven't seen the matchups on Raw, but at the same time, we know PCB are all going to get victories. So it's, or at least we're pretty sure of that if there's not disqualifications. So really anybody they put in there is just fodder for them to get beaten. And that does kind of suck. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's handled. But the important thing is that it's happening at all. That's a good thing. As long as it stays in a singles competition mode, that's good. It's what we want to see. 3 singles competitions with the top 3 divas, besides Sasha Banks, of course, in wrestling. That's awesome. Let's get that. That's great. So hopefully that'll be handled correctly and we're going to get everything that we want to see there. If not, I might blow my brains out, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to get something that I don't really care about too much, but this escalation in the Wyatts and the Shield. Now, with the 3rd member being introduced of the Wyatt family, obviously most people, well, technically the 4th member, but, Eric Rowan, he's dead. Most people are wondering, does this mean that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose will be recruiting a new member for the Shield and reforming the Shield with a 3rd member? Or are they just going to bring in a new brother to their family? That's a good question. Does it need to happen? Not necessarily. Should it happen? Probably. And it shouldn't be anyone who's currently on the roster now. It definitely should be somebody down at NXT. Obviously, the most obvious candidate for that would have been Cassius Ohno, but he's no longer with the company. He was the original 3rd guy of the Shield. So it would be who? A lot of people are saying, Baron Corbin would make a good guy because he looks like Roman, but Roman's not the guy who got replaced. You need an amazing worker. You need somebody who's just an absolute badass in the ring because neither of the other two are, technically at least. So they need somebody who could just flat out work. Finn Balor would be absolutely perfect for it, but he's not a candidate. He doesn't fit the right look, and he's busy doing his own thing. At least a guy like Sami Zayn. If Sami Zayn was able to be healthy, which by his own words, he's not, how good of a member would Sami Zayn make to this brotherhood? He'd be perfect. He's a great stand-in for Seth Rollins. Their styles are very similar in a lot of ways. He'd be great for that. I'd love to see Sami Zayn as part of the new Shield or just inserted into this rivalry. The numbers cannot continue to just get to the Wyatts or be on the Wyatt side. The Shield have to figure out a way to even the numbers, and unfortunately, it's probably going to be someone like Mark Henry. More than likely, that's the WWE's move. Should it be? No. But so I ask you, the Dead on Dave universe, who do you think should be the 3rd guy and possibly 4th guy, 5th guy if we're going into SummerSlam, where this seems to be building? Who should be the next people to get involved in this storyline and come to the aid of the Shield? Who would you like to see get up in that thing? Let me know. And don't say Seth Rollins, because it's not happening. Speaking of Seth Rollins, he's got one of the most intriguing things going right now because seemingly he's going to be playing double duty. And why? Because this ties into what John Cena is going to be doing. That's the big question. John Cena, what is he going to do tonight? U.S. title rematch seems the most likely thing. He has his rematch. He should get it. Night of Champions. U.S. title's got to be defended. So does that mean John Cena gets the rematch? And if so, does Seth Rollins pull double duty? Certainly seems that's going to be the case. And if that is the case, it adds all kinds of intrigue to this already intriguing situation because Seth Rollins has his match with John Cena, probably going to lose that match. John Cena gets his belt back. Then everybody's wondering, is Rollins going to lose to Sting now? He's already got beaten up by Cena. What's going to happen here? So there's all kinds of intrigue, and that leads us into the next point for Raw tonight. Sting and Rollins. Sting has been announced to open the show tonight. He's kicking the whole damn thing off, which I think is a pretty damn good move. Very smart. Capitalize on the man as much as you can because you haven't really up until this point. Now, there's all kinds of questions and trying to figure out as to why that is. But maybe it's just as simple as giving Sting the ample time that he needed to get in the absolute pinnacle of condition that he could be in, which he seems to be right now. He was in good shape at WrestleMania. He's in better shape now. Maybe this is what he needed to actually do a run. Maybe that's what they asked him. Maybe that's why he didn't win at WrestleMania too. Because they were like, okay, you're in great shape for a match, but can you run? Can we bring you out the next few weeks? Can you hold matches? Can you do 3, 4, 5, 6 matches? Can you do a run? And maybe Sting answered that question no. Maybe now he's in better shape. Maybe he can do a run. He can handle a couple of matches in a row. That's a very good possibility, and that's better for us in the long run. Plus, it gives us something that Sting can do in this time building up to the bigger events starting next year. We got, with the Royal Rumble coming up here in a few months. WrestleMania is incredibly, we're already starting to talk about WrestleMania. As insane as that is, but as soon as SummerSlam's over, we start talking about WrestleMania. It's just how it goes. Wait until friggin' Survivor Series is over. Then there's only 2 big ones left. So we're really going to be talking about it then. So it's just, there's all kinds of intrigue, and to have him there for this run now is pretty damn good. Because he can have this little feud with Seth Rollins. All of this teasing of him having the title, just having him with the title is cool enough. Just showing it with him holding it, it's a badass. And then he can go away and then reemerge for whatever run he's going to do at WrestleMania 32. So I just think there's so much cool stuff, so many good possibilities that we could see exploited tonight on Raw that I think it will be a good Raw. And that's when you kind of add in this last thing that I did save to the end, and that's Dudley Mania. Dudley Mania in the tag team division. The tag team division of WWE suddenly got interesting, and not just because of what's happening down at WWE, but what's happening on NXT as well. With all the tag teams that are being developed and are performing at a really high level down there, it gives you hope for the future for the tag team division of the current. On the main roster, the Dudleys being added into a decent talent pool, but very poorly utilized tag team division is good for everybody. The young teams get to see how it's done at the highest level. The Dudleys get to work with teams that they've never worked before and really have one more final au revoir. Get those pops one more time. All the fun, all the good stuff. Just be the Dudleys. Stop being a caricature of the Dudleys. Be the fucking Dudleys. That's all you need to be. And I just think it's good for the New Day. The New Day need a nemesis, a real nemesis. And that's who I really want to talk about here. They need a team that's going to elevate them, because the primetime players, they're not it. They can't hang with them on the mic. They can't hang with them in the ring, and that's the reality. Because what we forget with all the antics by Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E is the fact that they are 3 immensely talented performers. And that's something that gets mistaken and overlooked constantly in some of the greatest factions in wrestling history. We talk about all the good stuff with NWO, but those guys could fucking go at the end of the day. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, even Hulk Hogan, he the worker that he was, not the greatest wrestler, but one of the greatest workers we've ever seen in professional wrestling. Everybody could deliver. Then they brought in even more talent and more talent. Kurt Hennig, Sean Waltman, who was one of the youngest guys in the group at the time. It was nonstop. Macho Man, all these guys who could just perform. So they could go on the mic, they could be a great unit together that you wanted to see, but then they could just beat your ass in the ring. The 4 Horsemen obviously come to mind because they were created because they were the 4 Horsemen of wrestling. They were literally the most badass people in the ring in the game at the time. And then you look at a team that I'm going to make a direct comparison with the New Day, and that's Degeneration X. When DX was originally put together, it was Shawn Michaels and Triple H, 2 unbelievable performers that were an anti-establishment, that were punky, that were just, they were doing their thing. The New Day, while hiding behind this whole positivity clap thing, they're essentially the same thing. The gimmicks that we're seeing them do now are very DX-ish. You're telling me you would not be surprised if the New Day come out dressed in Dudley regalia tonight? Come on, it definitely could happen if they do a skit where they put somebody through a little tiny table or something like that. That's totally New Day, and that's totally DX. That's the brilliance of this. There's an association there that I've heard nobody make yet, and that is with DX for the New Day, and I really see it. I think it's really smart, and I think that this is a faction. Yes, a faction, no longer just a team, a faction that is really starting to gain some momentum. And they can add to it if they need be. Black, white, or indifferent, it doesn't really matter because the New Day is really starting to go. I think the smartest thing they could do is once again break up the primetime players. Break them up and have one of them go to the New Day. And if you do it right and you do it with the right guy, and believe it or not, I think the right guy should be Darren Young. You do it with the right guy, they both can become stars. Because their first breakup didn't yield any results, mainly because Darren Young got hurt. This breakup, if done right, there could be a great feud where Titus O'Neil can be elevated this time at least to an Intercontinental Champion status. And Darren Young will be immediately just brought up for his association with the New Day. He's got the mouth and the annoying personality to be perfect for the New Day. So I really want to see that. I think it would be really interesting. What do you guys think of that idea? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, go ahead and like this video because likes are free. You could also subscribe to the channel. Help the channel grow. That's a good thing. We are over 1,250 subs. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the support. And we love you for it. Also, you can go check out all my merchandise over at www.deadonDave.spreadshirt.com. Check out all this cool merchandise made by the one, the only, the magnificent Isaac Rojas. Great graphic designer. He does all my stuff there. Does a lot of my graphics here as well. He does a great job. So thank you, Isaac. So make sure you check him out as well. Check out that site to support the channel. But if you want to support the channel in the most direct way possible, go right into the description box of this video. Hit the donate button and become a donator to the channel. Help me grow. Help me eat. No, I'm kidding. I'm okay. Just, you know what I mean. Give the fat guy a tip if you so see fit. Nothing wrong with that. If you tip a barista, you could tip the fat man. That's all I'm saying. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Make sure you're checking out everything within the community. And do not forget to check me out tonight, co-hosting as I do every single Monday with the great Joe Cronin over at the Joe Cronin Show, Monday Night Raw Review. Make sure you check that out. Jesse J will be there, and who knows who else will show up. Also, go check out my boy, my man's Tommy C over at Shot from the Point, the most badass hockey podcast in all of the YouTube-verse. Go check him out. They had a really good comeback show last night. They're hammering out the rust. They're oiling up, they're lubing up for the big run that's coming here for hockey season because we're getting really close. So gear up, get yourself all iced up for that. Go check out Shot from the Point. Other than that, that's all I got. Thank you guys for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.